If you are in Stuttgart, one of the things that I strongly recommend that you do is visit the building behind me. This 34-meter high building is the Mercedes-Benz Museum, and I'm told what it houses is a brief history of the Mercedes-Benz brand. And when I say brief, you must remember that Mercedes-Benz is a 125-year-old company. So what you get to see inside is also the first car, which was called Mercedes, plus of course the latest and all the things that they have achieved in motorsports. Time for me to have a look.
The museum here is an imposing structure which uses over 16,500 square meters of space spread over 7 floors to display what Mercedes has achieved over all these years, and more importantly to register for posterity the milestones of the 129 years of the journey since the first motor car made its appearance. And of course, even then Mercedes was in the thick of things, with both Daimler and Benz being the inventors.
And as you walk into the museum, you will get a view of the humble beginnings of the word motor car and also the first engine that was made by Daimler. This is a single-cylinder engine which was actually mounted on a frame to make the first motor car. And what you will also see here are two of the first cars that are made, a four-wheeler made by Daimler and Maybach, and the second one, a three-wheeler made by Benz. These two were the world's first automobile, and the year was 1886. And what you see there is actually an original, although this one is a replica.
After nearly 25 years of steady progress in the automotive world, things came to an abrupt stop as World War I broke out in 1914. While one Henry Ford across the Atlantic continued to develop his cars, the Europeans had by then shifted production to feed the war machinery. Post the war, the economy was so bad that Daimler was forced to make bicycles, and Benz made sewing machines. But as they say, every cloud has a silver lining, and the lining was in this case the coming together of Daimler and Benz.
It was in 1926 that Daimler and Benz got together. The reason was simple. The world was shattered by World War I. An economic reason was the main reason why they bonded together. And of course, the outcome was spectacular. Between 1926 and 1930, they produced some of the world's best automobiles.
While the SSK was developed as a full-blown race car, the 500K was a car which thrilled with its looks and performance as well, as this was one of the first cars to use a compressor to boost engine performance. And this was easily one of the most gorgeous cars to have come out of the Mercedes factory ever. Currently, this car is valued at around 6 million euros, and the best part is that even after close to 90 years, both these cars are ready to be driven.
If you look at history, you will realize that there wasn't anything called Mercedes-Benz before the year 1926, and there wasn't anything either called Mercedes before the year 1902. Daimler and Benz were working separately, but it was the dealer of Daimler in Nice and Vienna who entered a car in the race, and the car won the race, and he decided to name the car after his daughter, Mercedes. And this is the first Mercedes, and this is how it was born, and this in fact is the original car. And this here is the oldest surviving Mercedes-Benz in the world. This I call is what is the most recognizable Mercedes probably ever made. The 300 SL Coupe made between 1954 and 1957. And there are a lot of innovations in the car like gull-wing doors, direct gasoline injection supplied by Bosch. And the reason why it has gull-wing doors is because innovation was called for. This was sitting on a tubular space frame, and the regular frame could have supported the weight of proper doors. But the tubular frame couldn't have, hence the gull-wing doors. And this is really a great thing that happened to this car because it made it so very different and so very attractive. Talk about vintage and classic cars costing the earth? Well then, you haven't really heard what this one cost. This is the 300 SLR. Only 2 were built for racing and only 2 exist in the world. And guess how much is this car valued at? A staggering 60 million euros. Yes, you heard me right.
Mercedes might have made a short stopover in the motorsport pit lanes, but between 1952 and 1955 it became a formidable force with drivers like Manuel Fangio at the wheels. Winning races became a habit, and the pinnacle was winning the grueling Pan Americana in 1955.
Silverados was a very dominant name in motorsports in the 1950s. The car you see behind me, a 300 SL, was the winner of the Pan Americana in 1955. A 5-day race covering over 3,000 kilometers. And you see bars on the windscreen, and there's a reason for this. On the very first day of the race, a huge vulture hit the windscreen and damaged it. So innovation came into play and bars were put in to prevent such further incidents.
If motor racing was what got Mercedes' attention, then Hollywood and celebrities couldn't have been far away. Princess Diana broke the rule only to be reprimanded by the Queen for opting for a German car over a British one. But before her, Ringo Starr of the Beatles owned one, which was one of the first AMG badged, and the royalty and the head of states were not too far away either. And at times the Mercedes 3-star was replaced by the personal coat of arms of the royalty. Mercedes even developed an armored vehicle for use by their celebrity clients.
Had a rather nice date with the Mercedes-Benz car. So next time you are in Stuttgart, do drop in at the museum here and you will see some very nice cars and some very historical ones.